By the way, I wrote that song when I was 13. It's sort of meant to be a metaphorical version of the saying, "Things are not always what they seem." It's about an angel massacre. Hi, my name is Gwynn Lanning, or Quinn Artis. You can call me whichever of these names you like, but just so you know, my pronouns are they, them. Thank you for respecting this. 3 things you should know about me. I am a genderqueer individual. I have depression, and I have considered attempting suicide. Before I get to my second 2 points, I'd like to explain the term queer. I know it's been used as a derogatory term. I know the literal meaning can mean odd or different, but queer to me is an umbrella term used to refer to the LGBTQ community. So instead of using labels like homosexual, heterosexual, transgender, stuff like that, people can just say, I'm in the queer community. I am genderqueer. Genderqueer for me means I'm not necessarily a boy, I'm not entirely a girl, but I'm somewhere in between. And that just works for me. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work out, because when I was growing up, people didn't really understand why I was different. Some people called me mentally ill and other derogatory terms, and people would bully me throughout school just because they didn't understand. Growing up, I was in an incredibly accepting household. My mother and father, I'm so glad that they let me choose the path I wanted to go down. They, listened to me when I said I feel different. And they've really helped me along the way. I could not ask for a better mom or dad. Unfortunately, I also live in a society with a lot of other people who, have different expectations. And they aren't bad, just while I was growing up, people told me that since I'm a biological female, I should act a certain way, dress a certain way, and grow up in a particular fashion. But I didn't really, feel like that fit me. And I also didn't feel like I should grow up in the same way that men do. I was kind of stuck. I also would look at my body in the mirror and think, this isn't right. I don't feel like I should look like this. And I started resenting my body because of this. And slowly but surely, I developed depression. It started surfacing around 7th grade and only progressed and got worse over time. This spiraled into suicidal ideation. Now, luckily, that's a step behind suicidal actions, like making a plan, attempting suicide, and actually committing suicide. Suicidal ideation comes a little bit beforehand, where you're thinking about ways that you could die. Sometimes, because I hated my body so much, I would want to starve myself to death, or at least just starve myself. Sometimes I would want to go to bed and never wake up again. And sometimes while walking down the street, I would look at cars and think, if I just walked out in front of this moving car, I could end everything right now. Which is a terrifying thought, and it still scares me to know that I thought about that. I don't wish for anyone to go through those kind of mental states where you feel so much in this downward spiral that you just want to end everything. It's awful. Luckily, there were 2 people who kept me alive. First, my best friend Marie. I've known her since I was born. She's been my best friend ever since growing up. She's basically a sister to me. And one time we were just having a conversation, and we promised that when we got older, I would be the one to die after she did. She said that I was stronger than her, and, well, she said that she couldn't imagine living in a world without me. And that stuck. At my lowest points, I thought, you gotta stay alive for Marie, because there is someone who will miss you if you're gone. There is always someone who loves you throughout your life. There's always someone who will miss you when you're gone. The second person is my friend Benji, who unfortunately committed suicide in 2015. I got to experience having someone who left me at an unfortunate time, and I got to experience missing him so much that I thought, why should I keep going? And the reason I should keep going is because how this made me feel. How would me leaving make other people feel? I already know that Marie loves me. I know my parents love me. I can't leave right now because I know there are people who love me. And so I stuck around. I tried to ameliorate my mental health. I reached out to my friends, made sure that they were all okay during the months of grief and mourning. I tried, little ways to improve my life. Eating a little bit better, exercising, getting a little more sleep. Just basic things that are helpful in the long run that can make you just a little bit happier in general. I started seeing a therapist, which really helped. And after a while, my mental state got a little better. So if there is anyone that you know who is battling with depression, or someone you know who's considering suicide, definitely act. There are some tips on which I can give you to help other people. I mean, if you or anyone you know is suffering with this, call a suicide hotline. The Trevor Project is one of them. They are the nation's leading suicide prevention hotline, special assistance to LGBTQ youth, but also they'll just help anyone who calls. They are absolutely amazing. I've been donating to them for about 3 years now, and what they do is wonderful. You can just search the Trevor Project on their website, it comes up, and they're very helpful. Another thing, medication. It can really help. If you're dealing with something that you don't think can be solved or bettered just by, talking to someone or making small changes in your life, seek professional help. Go to your doctor. See if you can get on a medication that works for you, because it may not help for everyone, but it could help if you really need it. Another thing, think about the people who love you. I know every single person in this world, in this room, and in this world has someone that they love and has someone who loves them. It goes in a circle. Just think about that. If you're at a low point, think about who loves you and who needs you to stay around. Now, being alive and being okay, I guess, are two different things. Why I titled my presentation "To Be Okay" instead of, to be alive, is because I think it's better just to be in a generally better mood. Maybe not just be at the very bottom where you're just trying to grasp towards life, but once you have a hold on your life, you can move forward from that and help yourself just be happier. It also helps you, prevent yourself from sliding down again further. And being okay is really nice. I don't want to have an amazing life. No one has to have an absolutely fantastic life where everything is wonderful and amazing and happy all the time. That's unrealistic. And I really hope that no one has an awful life, because that sucks. I want you guys to all be okay. My personal goal is to be okay, and that's what I'm following. So steps to be okay. While it differs for everyone, we all have our different ways of, improving our lives, making them worthwhile. Do what you love. Be with who you love. Two pretty good things to go by, I think being okay is one of the easiest things and yet the hardest things we can reach, because it's trying to be okay in the moment. While you may have good days and bad days, you also want to be okay throughout the years, throughout days, months, years, and throughout your life. And it may take a lot of work to get to that point. I'm not okay all the way yet. I still have depression. I still have things to work through. But you can get there. And anyone can get there. It's a really nice thing. One more point. I'm part of this annual music and arts festival called Listen to Your Art. And what we do is, we donate to the Trevor Project. this year, I believe, will mark having donated almost $19,000 to the organization in our 3 years. And we're putting on a 4th annual festival next year, 2018. We unfortunately don't have a date yet. But our last festival was July 9th at the Mike Wallace Park in Kingston. It will probably be around the same time in summer. Keep updated. We have a Facebook page, a website. You can check out listentoyourart.org, and it's a really great cause. And mainly what we try to do is just alleviate the whole taboo behind talking about suicide. You know, it's kind of awkward to come up and talk about such a personal thing, but it's really worth it. Because so many people may think about it, and quite a few people are depressed or considering suicide. And I think it's just nice to give a voice to those people who may not be so comfortable with expressing the fact that they might not want to be here. So, recap. Steps to stay alive, to help loved ones, medication, hotlines, talking to people, think about the people that you love, and be with the people you love. Steps to be okay, do what you love, again, be with the people that you love. And yeah, hopefully we'll all end out okay. Thank you.